Welcome to Stark Insights, where we go beyond the armor to reveal the heart of a hero. Today, we're diving into an untold story of Tony Stark that shows the real strength behind Iron Man isn't the suit, it's the man inside. If you've ever wondered what makes a true hero, stay with me for the next few minutes. Let the journey begin. Tony Stark stood at the bar, dressed impeccably in a custom Tom Ford suit, nursing a glass of sparkling water. These events drained him now. Since becoming Iron Man, since nearly dying to save the universe, the shallow conversations felt even emptier. But Pepper insisted the Maria Stark Foundation needed his presence, not just his money. So here he was, playing the part everyone expected. The billionaire, the genius, the philanthropist. The mask he wore tonight was perhaps heavier than his titanium alloy one. He scanned the room, recognizing senators, CEOs, and celebrities laughing too loudly at jokes that weren't funny. Tony checked his watch. One more hour, he promised himself. One more hour of handshakes and fake smiles before he could retreat to his workshop where the real work happened, where he tried to build a safer world one invention at a time, far from the spotlight and the judgment. A loud voice cut through the ambient chatter. Stark Industries, all shine, no substance. Tony turned to see a middle-aged man with salt and pepper hair addressing a small crowd. His suit was well made but not designer, his hands calloused from actual work. The man hadn't noticed Tony nearby, partially obscured by a towering floral arrangement. My brother worked construction in New York. Was there when those aliens came through the sky. Building collapsed on him while Iron Man was flying around showing off. Tony's hand tightened around his glass, knuckles whitening. The piano melody in the background turned minor, tense notes building underneath like a gathering storm. Memories flooded back. The wormhole, the vastness of space, the certain death he had flown toward willingly. The nightmares that still woke him, gasping and sweating in the dark. 3 surgeries later, still can't work. Hospital bills piling up while he watches his kids grow up from a wheelchair. The man's voice grew more bitter with each word. Where was Stark then? Where's he been for all the messes his fancy suit leaves behind? The man's voice cracked with emotion, raw pain bleeding through his anger. These heroes, they cause as many problems as they solve, especially that one. People shifted uncomfortably, sipping their drinks and averting their eyes. A few noticed Tony standing just feet away, their faces registering alarm. Someone whispered urgently to a friend, a camera phone discreetly raised. The man continued, unaware of the growing tension around him. Iron Man flies away when the dust settles. Regular people like us live in the rubble. My brother's kids don't care about aliens or infinity stones. They just want their dad to be able to play catch again. Tony should walk away, should let his PR team handle it. That's what the old Tony would have done. Deflected with a sarcastic quip, maybe had security escort the man out. But something kept him rooted to the spot, listening. He thought of every person he couldn't save. Every night he woke up gasping for air, reliving the wormhole, the snap, the endless threats. The weight of each decision, each failure, pressed down on him like the collapsed building had crushed this man's brother. You know what I think? The man said bitterly, swirling the last of his whiskey. Tony Stark hides in that suit because he's a coward. A man playing hero while others pay the price. Wouldn't last a day living with the consequences the rest of us do. The music swells with emotional tension as Tony steps forward. The crowd parts like the Red Sea, conversations dying mid-sentence. Recognition dawns slowly on the man's face as he realizes who has been listening, color draining away until he looks almost gray under the chandelier light. His empty glass nearly slips from suddenly trembling fingers. Your brother, Tony said quietly. No hint of his usual sarcasm or showmanship. Just a man facing another man's pain. What's his name? The man swallowed hard, Adam's apple bobbing in his throat. For a moment it seemed he might lash out again, double down on his anger. But something in Tony's eyes, not offense or anger, but genuine concern, seemed to deflate him. Michael Grayson. Tony nodded, pulling out his phone. The sleek device illuminated his face from below as he spoke clearly. Friday, find everything on Michael Grayson, construction worker, injured during the Battle of New York. Medical records, insurance claims, Current treatment plan. He looked up at the stunned man as data scrolled across his screen. I can't fix everything. God knows I've tried, but I can fix this. The man's anger crumbled visibly, the protective shell of rage falling away to reveal the raw grief and exhaustion beneath. Why would you help after what I said? I wouldn't have blamed you for throwing me out on my ass. A small, sad smile played at the corner of Tony's mouth. The crowd around them had grown silent, witnessing something few ever saw. Tony Stark without performance or pretense. He pocketed his phone, the weight of his responsibilities visible in the lines around his eyes, the slight stoop of shoulders that carried the world. Because you're right about more than you're wrong, I do hide in the suit sometimes. And the people left in the rubble matter more than my ego. He extended his hand. I'm just a man trying to do better today than I did yesterday. Your brother will have the best care available by morning. Stark Industries Medical Division has prototype rehabilitation tech not available to the public yet. The man stared at the offered hand for a long moment before grasping it firmly. His eyes glistened with unshed tears. James Grayson, and thank you. As Tony walked away, the whispers followed him like they always did. But for once, he didn't mind them. Let them talk. Let them see that Iron Man wasn't just a hero for the big moments, the alien invasions and cosmic threats. Sometimes heroism was quieter, more personal. The music rises with a hopeful theme, strings joining the piano as the tension resolves into something more powerful. The next day, a package arrived at Michael Grayson's hospital room, prototype rehabilitation technology not yet available to the public, and a handwritten note. The suit doesn't make the hero, the people we save do. Your brother reminded me why I built it in the first place. T.S. 1 week later, as Tony worked late in his lab, Friday interrupted. Boss, you have an email I think you should see. On his screen appeared a video. Michael Grayson, standing unsteadily with the help of Stark's experimental braces, taking his first steps since the accident. His children hugged his legs as he moved forward, tears streaming down everyone's faces. The subject line read simply, "Thank you for finally showing up." Tony stared at the screen for a long moment, then saved the video to his private server. Not for publicity, not for redemption, but as a reminder of what the suit was always meant to do, protect the people who couldn't protect themselves. Sometimes that meant flying into wormholes. Sometimes it meant facing criticism and doing better. Always it meant using his privilege to lift others up. And that's how Tony Stark proved that sometimes the greatest heroism happens without a single repulsor blast. If this glimpse behind the mask touched your heart, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community of Marvel enthusiasts. Activate those notifications too. Just like Friday keeps Tony informed, they'll keep you updated on all our upcoming content. Until next time, remember, we're all heroes in our own story. This is Stark Insights signing off.